Now, yesterday, ladies and gents, when the markets closed, both locally and internationally, we saw the markets showing positive signs of good recoveries. I mean, locally, we saw the top 40 closing up over 2%, whereas the S&P 500 closed up 1%. Now, this is something that really made me to be really excited because most of the stocks that I personally invest in yesterday, I saw them really recovering good or having some good gains when the market closed yesterday, and especially locally, which obviously those of you that follow me on Facebook, it even led me to share some of the gains on one of the stocks that obviously I am putting, or I am heavily sort of like invested in, which is Sibanye Stillwater. I mean, Sibanye yesterday finished the day up over 1.7%, which was not bad at all, because yesterday we saw Sibanye Stillwater creating a 6-month high, which is something that really excites me, as this is a stock, or this is one of the stocks that is starting the year really well. So I'm hoping for the best, because this is one of the stocks that, like I said, I'm investing in now. Another stock that obviously I'm heavily investing in, which is doing pretty good. This stock, in fact, it's almost hitting a 52-week high. That is Sun International. Sun International, ladies and gents, yesterday almost reached their 52-week high of around 37 rands and 50 cents, which, ladies and gents, it really gets me to be excited when I see a stock like Sun International, ladies and gents, recovering also good, since you know that this was one of the stocks, or this is one of the stock in an industry which was heavily hit by the pandemic. I mean, COVID made a lot of people not to travel. So there were people around the world, not just in South Africa, were restricted from traveling, which is why this is one of the stocks that were really heavily hit, as they are in the traveling and leisure industry. So to get to see a stock like Sun International almost going to hit a 52-week high of over 37 rands and 50 cents really got me to be excited. Also yesterday, though this stock finished the day up just over 0.5% up, this is a stock that I personally believe that now, especially seeing the fact that the traveling and leisure industry is opening up, not just in South Africa but worldwide, this is a stock which is just set to do very well. I mean, this is the stock that last year, when I bought it again or brought it back in my portfolio again, I did a video, and those of you that probably added or loaded or increased or added this stock for the very first time after that video, you should be sitting at some good gains. I'm up around 10% onto this stock, which is something that really gets me to be excited. And the reason why probably is 10%, it's because I've always been trying to load the board, increasing my holdings every time I get some money, or every time I find myself with some money in my ZAR portfolio. I always try to add whenever I can. So these companies did really good. I mean, there are companies like Naspers that hit a 52-week high yesterday, which is something that must just show you that markets locally were really flying yesterday, which is why we saw a lot of companies showing some good gains yesterday. Now, before we dig deep into this video, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. Now, I really appreciate if you can just hit the likes button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about the markets, or what we saw in the markets yesterday. I mean, this channel, or on this channel, we talk everything or discuss everything relating to the stock market, both locally and internationally. So yesterday, as I'm saying, we were really excited, and if this is the kind of content that you want, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you have not subscribed to this channel already. Once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or press that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. So before wasting any more of your time, yes, yesterday we were really excited, and one of the stocks that, to me, though they did not maybe grow by much in terms of the share price, that I'm really closely monitoring is Sun International, because Sun International, not only are we seeing them doing well in terms of the share price, but this is a company that, if you had to go and look at their quarterly sort of like statements, you will notice that this is a company that is doing pretty good, or that is doing really well, which means that this is a company that is recovering well from the heat of the pandemic. As I said earlier on, that the traveling and leisure industry is one of the industries which were heavily impacted by the pandemic, and seeing such good recoveries from Sun International makes me to be hopeful, makes me to be confident when investing onto this stock, because as the world continues opening, we are going to see companies like Sun International continuing to grow. I mean, the last time, of course, we had a discussion about this company, we were talking of some of the good things or their developments which they are doing, of upgrading their hotels, or some of their hotels increasing number of rooms, which is something that obviously is going to increase their revenue, or is going to make them see a good growth when it comes to their revenue generation. Now, Sun International, ladies and gents, especially during these festive seasons, I personally believe that they did really well, because I remember I wanted to go to Sun City just before Christmas. I wanted to quickly book. It was something that I just thought, and I was like, no, maybe I should go and make a turn at Sun City. I wanted to sleep there, and because there was something that I needed to do that side in Northwest. But to my surprise, ladies and gents, it was fully booked, and I'm talking about something that obviously it happened before Christmas. It was fully booked, which is something that really got me to think that this is a company that revenue wise they are going to do very well, especially in the festive seasons, looking at the fact that some of their, if not all, because I don't know or I'm not sure, some of their hotels were fully booked, which is something that makes me to believe that obviously revenue wise when it comes to hotels, they will do very well. But you all know that Sun International, of course, that doesn't only focus in hotels. They've got Sunbeds or Sun Slots, which of course is their sort of like a gaming section, which obviously is the one apparently that obviously I think it contributes in most of their revenue. It contributes a huge or chunk of their revenues, which is something that I personally believe that, like I said, the fact that the traveling and leisure industry is opening, we are also going to see a boost in the gaming section, which is something that obviously makes me to be hopeful and remain positive on to Sun International. So yes, I know that this is a stock that to others maybe it might not be appetizing by much, but this is a stock that is just set to do very well. I mean, if I'm to remind you of some of their quarterly earnings or quarterly financials on the screen, you notice that Sun International, for the period which ended in June of 2022, they saw their revenue going up or increasing by over 37% when comparing to the previous time or the previous quarter, which ended in June of 2021. So in June of 2022, they saw their revenues increasing by over 37%. They also saw their net income increasing by 390%, which is something that I think it's good news to those that invest into Sun International, because as an investor, you want to obviously invest into a company which is seeing its revenues growing, because when the revenues grow, then the value or the company's values grows, which is something that obviously it is the one thing that makes investors to really like to invest or put their money into companies like, of course, Sun International. So yes, yesterday the markets were really were pretty good in terms of recovering, and I'm hopeful that we get to see maybe days like yesterday, maybe throughout the year. As you know that 2022 was not that much of a good year, both locally and internationally. So I'm really hopeful that we get to see, or we continue seeing, some recoveries in the companies that we invest in, both locally and internationally. Though internationally, in the US, we have seen many stocks are still almost at their 52-week lows, or trading almost at their 52-week lows, which is something that must just show you that obviously locally compared to internationally, it looks like local companies are doing much better than the US companies, which is something that is obviously a good thing. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I should just give you this quick updates. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell, that at least to get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.